Her interest was to find out measures of taken so far as heavy rains continue to batter the city of Yaoundé. Her story.
The position of someone waiting for a friend. His friend has announced his coming these past days. We are talking about the rains, start of the raining season in Yaoundé. And in order not to be taken off guard, he is very ready.
When the rains are starting, we take our precautions. We try to clean our gutters. We try to trace a path where the water can pass because we are in a maricage, a watery area. So we have the solution. We try our best.
Period of sleepless nights as their burst year has its limit.
When the rain is too much, it enters our rooms. We sleep on the corridors until dawn, and life continues because we cannot do otherwise. But we are waiting on the government to do something so that they can look at this water has been broken. This tree has been broken. Since then, it's about 8 months running, getting to 9 months. Nothing has been done. We count on the government to come and do something to let the road pass so that we can reach the street ourselves.
Floods common in the Mokolo Elobi, Damas, Jouvence, Corbisson neighborhoods, just to name these. Period of great destruction, damage. The inhabitants here, for example, have resorted to personal efforts. Anti-flood strategies, very helpful as their neighbors to this water passage.
When you have a material in the house and the children, you will not accept that water to enter your house to spoil your things. So that is why we carry ground every day. We buy ground every day, carry ground and come and block the water to not enter here. So you cannot sit in the house with your children, with your kako, water come and enter. You spoil all your materials. And all the time, things are very difficult.
The harmless cold just a week ago in Yaoundé, with dust here and there, is fast bowing out, sitting place to downpour and mud. The preparation to avoid the worst, what most of the inhabitants of these neighborhoods are struggling to attain.
A series of meetings between the Executive Bureau of the Northwest House of Phones, Chiefs and Traditional Rulers has opened in Bamenda, Northwest region of Cameroon for the past 8 days. The custodians of tradition will take turns to present respective divisions or according to their respective divisions in listening to exposés from some regional delegates with key messages on peace, on how schools could effectively resume in that part of the country. The details in the following story.
Traditional rulers of the Northwest region have been called upon to mobilize their subjects and campaign for school reopening in their respective villages. The call is from the president of the House of Chiefs at the opening of a week-long meeting with traditional rulers of the 7 divisions of the region this Wednesday.
And as September draws near, all of us are able to read and write today because we went to school. There will be great need for us to campaign for back to school.
Though it is likely to be challenging, the custodians of tradition, most from Mezam, to whom this first day was dedicated, have promised to do their best.
We have the village council. We talk to the population through our quarter heads, our village council chairpersons, and the phones actually help us to be able to talk to our people.
Regional delegates of technical ministerial departments and the heads of judicial affairs division at the governor's office presented exposés on certain topics bordering on the functions and activities of traditional rulers.
They have the authority to administer traditional justice, particularly concerning land and civil matter pertaining to succession, for instance.
The touching presentation of the delegates for secondary education revealed that, according to latest statistics, 130,000 students were absent from school, so funds should do all to help the already improving situation.
And we stay in education news. The government of Cameroon has announced a major donations of some essential textbooks to primary school pupils across Cameroon. The official books concern are French, English, and mathematics. A financial gesture from the World Bank, as we hear in the following story.
Good Good news for parents ahead of upcoming back to school. The mathematics, English and French textbooks for the level 1 and 2 in both English and French subsystem of education freely put at the disposal of the people in their various schools. The World Bank initiative to assist primary school pupils in all the 10 regions of the country. Bookshop owners have lauded the action as that which will reduce burden on parents and encourage more children to go to school.
World Bank giving book to Cameroon people is a very good thing. We cannot say that it don't affect we, but it's not a real problem.
But many should understand that the gesture is limited only to 3 textbooks.
And the other thing is that they are not going to give all books. They always give 3 books, mathematics, French, and English.
At the moment, only public schools are eligible to social offer for classes 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the English subsystem, and still CP, CE1, and CE2 in the French subsystem of education.
And the second edition of the International One-Week Trade Fair has been announced for November 13, 2021 at the National Museum in Yaoundé. The information was made public at the press conference this Thursday. The organizers say it will encourage Cameroonians of all walks of life into a reading and a reading culture, which is fast dying out, as we hear in the following story with Heinzen Chia.
Reaffirming the role of books in the heart of the society is a theme for the upcoming November Book Fair, geared towards bringing back writing and reading culture in the current generation.
We have noticed that there are so many things that are lacking in our literary scene nowadays, because young authors are not writing like elders used to do. There are so many errors, so many mistakes, so many typos. So we'll be trying to correct that and leading those workshops so they can effectively produce books that can be internationally read.
The book bazaar, promoters insist, will be open to Cameroonian youths of all walks of life who desire to improve upon their literary knowledge and arts input to their activities.
Mostly young authors and young readers. If there are so many, that will be a real success, because they are the ones that we are really targeting. We are really expecting young ones, those who are learning writing, those who are starting their books, and those who are really passionate about writing and reading.
With the traditional reading and writing of hard copies of course books greatly hampered by the internet and online versions, facilitators say special models have been designed to bring the young writers on track during the one-week exhibition.
There's that mechanism to bring them back to writing and reading so they can know the value of what they write and the value of books regarding education and also how to behave in society, how to grow your mind and how to improve your skills.
The International Book Festival, as announced in a press conference this August 19 in Yaoundé, is highly placed under the patronage of the Ministry of Arts and Culture.
Some cold stores in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, have been shut down by the repression brigades at the Ministry of Trade for illegal inflation of prices of fish, a situation that has left the buyers like dealers in grilled and smoked fish wagging. We hear more in the following story with our students, a journalist.
Sealed cold stores, empty environments, workers idling around, buyers stranded. The atmosphere we saw today at the Mokolo, Acacia and Coleton markets in Yaoundé. The following temporal closure of cold stores by the National Fraud Control and Repression Brigade under the Ministry of Trade. This as they are being accused of illegal inflation on the prices of fish in their cold stores. This situation has plunged many workers into joblessness.
We usually transport fish from the car to the cold store and also carry when customers come to buy and they pay us. But today, everything is closed and it is very difficult for us. Since morning, I have not done anything. Things are really not easy for us.
While the workers are lamenting at their end, dealers in grilled and smoked fish are wagging their corners. These as they are the most affected. touched directly by the inflation on the prices of fish, as it affects their business, economy, and family to an extent. Why a demand for the reduction in prices? Since 1 week we suffer a lot in order to have fish, and it is with this money that I pay the school fees of my children. Fish is very expensive, and we plead for a reduction in prices. This inflation in prices is noticed particularly in some highly consumed frozen fish like mackerel, which before cost 1,300 francs, but is being sold now at 1,450 francs per kilogram. And bar fish too has gone up to 1,500 from 1,415 francs. These women cry for a change that will help them end their days with something to take care of their families, as their businesses also flourishes.
Young Cameroonian researchers have expressed the need for government to increase their financial package, which will enable them to find solutions to numerous problems in different domains. The young Cameroonian researchers are currently being schooled in Yaoundé on different mechanisms that will enable them have or seek for funds from individuals and non-governmental organizations, as we hear in the following story.
Many have often questioned the capabilities of Cameroonian researchers in providing scientific solutions to the high demands of the Cameroonian society. But young researchers lament that the resources at their disposal are so limited.
We know that there is a lot of issues that our country is facing that need us to come in. We have our intelligence, but we are lacking money. And you know that even the budget that our government is putting into the research is not enough. Actually, they took the engagement to invest 1% of the GDP, but they are not reaching even 0.5%.
The young researchers in this 3 days workshop at the Ministry of Scientific Research and Innovation in Yaoundé are sharpening their knowledge on how to curb the many stumbling blocks alongside senior researchers for the benefit of the Cameroonian nation.
We need to have that platform where the policymakers and the researchers can come together and work together hand to hand, because they have issues, they have something that disturbs them, but we have the capabilities of looking information or to have data which can help them in having good public policies.
The scientists are equally drilled on measures to embark on research projects, not for formality, but that which can resolve community problems.
It's important for youth to develop research topics that seek to address issues like poverty, management of water and mineral resources, and a lot of other interesting topics.
The platform is equally aimed at reviewing some major failures and loopholes of Cameroonian researchers in the yesteryears to serve as a guide to the current generation of researchers.
Stakeholders in the production and processing chain of goods made in Cameroon have been told to work together if they must improve on the quality for their products to get into the international markets. At an exhibition and workshop in Douala, officials equally expressed the need on quality of some brands that were being exhibited, as we hear in the following story with Gladys Ambo Dibang.
These are products made in Cameroon, produced from local raw material. They are being exhibited to encourage Cameroonians consume what they produce. This exhibition takes place alongside a workshop on the promotion of locally made products at the vicinities of the Littoral Regional Delegation of Livestock, Fisheries and Animal Husbandry. Cameroon has been encouraging the consumption of local products in order to contribute to trade balance, because Cameroon sometimes imported goods that we could produce. Local products have their place in the market, but first, producers must work together on conserving its consumable products. At the stands are consumable products, cosmetics, wines, pharmaceuticals, amongst others, brands which are yet to conquer the national and international markets due to poor visibility, lack of quality and absence of shopping centers.
Vous allez peut-être dans un supermarché.
Once you are in a supermarket to propose your goods, all they ask is the quantity, if what you have can meet demand. The question is, are we capable of producing what we can satisfy local demands with? If we are united, together we can.
Tous ensemble, on pouvait répondre à cette demande.
Nous allons suivre avec
We have been trying to ensure producers know about good practices, come together and learn so that they can upgrade their skills and produce quality products and in great quantity that can meet international standards.
Vous verrez, à la fin, vous aurez quelque chose de très positif.
Officials have therefore urged stakeholders in production and processing to work together in order to add value to their brands.
And leaders of small and medium-sized industries have received training on how to improve on their packaging and labeling of their made in Cameroon products. Packaging, it is given that packaging is the first thing that clients see. The stakeholders were told to be competitive in the national and international market. Regina Leketanda completes that story.
They are heads of different very small and medium-sized food enterprises. For 3 days, these actors will be learning on how to become masters in the packaging and labeling of foodstuffs.
The most important thing is our business. It's not only to have money to run our companies. It's to be able to put on the market product with a good quality of standards. And that good quality of standards starts with the packaging of our product, because the first element a client will see to evaluate the quality of your product is how the product looks like.
The training, running from August 18 to 20th in Douala, has been organized by the Competitiveness Support Facility for Cameroon, better known by its French acronym DAC, in collaboration with its partners. Emphasis is being laid on norms to follow when packaging.
It's very important to know which material you have to use to preserve, to pack the food. Otherwise, your material may be a poison for the consumer, or maybe not fitting well for your product, because you have to choose the best material for the product.
Apart from packaging, the actors are also being trained on how to label their product and make it more competitive in the national and international market.
Information you are giving to the consumer to inform him what you have put in the packaging, and what is the characteristic of your product, how you can use your product, as consumer, how you have to use your product. So all this information are in the labeling.
More than 40 enterprises are taking part in the workshop, which will go a long way to strengthen the economy of the country and create jobs.
And that report by Regina Leketanda brings us the end of this edition of the news on Canal the International. Thanks so much for watching, but don't go away, for what's coming up next is The Brief with Lil Pieju. As for me, I'll be back tomorrow for another edition.